we're on again.
Okay.
So now we're using the form example, entitled Example of a Typical Job Analysis Interview for Use with an Incumbent. And here we are at Arup on October the 7th, and we're going to start with important job tasks, which effectively we've covered, but I'm going to put a different angle on it now and say, rightly or wrongly there, you gave me 9. Okay? And I'm going to look at, it might not be even a month, it might be a year, and it will be very approximate, but I'm going to look at percentage of your working time that you can allocate to those sort of tasks and see what's left. It shouldn't all these 9 shouldn't make 100. But if I read them back to you, we first of all said about reviewing the bi-weekly payroll. So you might want to be making a piece of paper and make a note on this.
You have an extra pen?
I do. So reviewing the bi-weekly payroll was number 1. New hire orientation was number 2. Vacation balance accrual was number 3. Recruitment for graduates and interns was number 4. St John's stuff was number 5. Number 6 was Montreal stuff. Number 7 was, for want of a better expression, ad hoc employment issues. Number 8 was similar, general staff inquiries. And number 9 was RSP stuff. So what would you say, and it's very difficult to appreciate over a week, and it's probably difficult over a month, but I mean, the St John stuff, from what you're saying, is quite an easy one to start with. I guess that's 25%.
Yeah, I can easily put 25%
Yeah.
on that. For 7 and 8, the ad hoc and the general staff, I can put, let's put 15 on that. Montreal, I'll put 5. It's a very small office. Payroll, we can make that. What are we? It has to equal 100.
Well, it probably won't, because there'll be
it's just
other things.
Right, and
which is one of my next question. You see, what are these other things?
Okay, so let's new hire. Let's make that 15. Vacation.
I mean, for want of a better way of thinking of it, when you're in Toronto, you're working normally 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
And how many hours in that week would you typically allocate to this particular task? 160 hours a month.
Oh, I forgot this one. Oh, this one is another 25%. I'm already in overtime. Okay, so I did payroll 20%.
35, 55, 80, 105, 110. Okay, let's try and clip some of those percentages just a little bit, Gerard. I expected it not to reach 100. Okay. If we could just amend them to get to 100, that would be a start, please.
Okay. You know what? Payroll can be reduced by 15%. And I can bring down vacation to 15. How much were we at? 110?
15, 15, 45,
25.
65, 70, 95, 100.
No.
130. 130%.
Okay. It's weird, I can't. You know what?
It's hard, this.
New hire orientation, you know what? It's okay, 5%, I can say. Just, it only happens once in a while, 15%. See, I have to rate, I can't justify 15% for that, I have to raise that to 20. I just feel like it's so much, a lot of the work happens in there. 5% St. John's 25, 20, 45, 50. Oh, I've never had to do this before, and I didn't realize how difficult it was.
It's not easy. In my experience, the perfect answer is somebody who probably gets around 80, and then there's 20% sort of unaccounted. But if 80 is perhaps a little bit ambitious to aim for, 100 would be okay.
Okay. 20, 30, 45, 50, 75. Oh, for crying out loud. Let's put that to 10. Okay. So 10, 5, do the math as I go.
Yeah, 15,
10.
25, 40, 65, 70, 90. Hundred. Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Okay.
Okay, that was hard work, yeah? Thanks for that. So, doing these tasks, in terms of technology, in terms of equipment, what do you use? Use a laptop?
Correct.
Use a telephone?
Yes.
Anything else?
And a notebook.
Fax?
No.
I never use a fax person.
No.
I know a lot of people do in Canada. Okay.
Scanner.
Scanner, yeah. Printer,
Mm-hmm.
copier,
Yeah. Wow.
stapler.
Yes.
They'd be the main things, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Going back to this sort of split, are there tasks on there, Gerard, that you would do every day? So perhaps we could do a list here: daily, weekly, and so you've allocated them a number 1 to 9. So I don't know how many times per day, because I think we've covered that with the percentage, but things that you do at least once a week, things that you do at least once a day.
You want me to write it or
Well, just put the number.
Okay.
So if it's number 1,
So number 1 is
Yeah.
payroll is weekly. 2. 3. I do that. Yeah. 6. 7. RSP is a 9. 1 is 8. No, 8. Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
fine. And now we're going to talk, I don't know when you were at York, if in recruitment selection you were hammered home about KSAO.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have an example here.
Okay.
Now, I don't propose to produce this,
Okay.
but I think it would be a useful thing to be thinking of, could I send this to you
Okay.
for you to fill in a task statement that you think is an important part of, let's say, a couple of these jobs, okay? And then we're looking at how much knowledge you need. We're thinking of things like, how often are you contacting people like Paula,
Yeah.
other people at other offices for help? What are areas that you think you could be better at? What are the areas you think you're very strong at? So I'm not going to go through all 9 because it's going to be forever,
Okay.
but it's just a 1-page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now obviously these subheadings don't
Yeah.
necessarily need to be the same,
Okay.
but it might be something to think about of, I can perhaps, if that's okay with you, to draft a couple of task statements.
Okay.
It will be this sort of format, these
Okay.
would be the same, but the difference would be what goes in knowledge, K, skills, S, abilities,
Okay.
and other O.
Okay.
So I perhaps could draft that
Yeah.
for you.
Sounds good. Yeah.
If I pick a couple,
Yeah.
I might even pick more than, I might pick like 4, but you
That's
pick
fine,
2
yeah.
of those 4 that you think are easier to do
To
than
do,
others.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And the other little form, which the alternative to this is me, which I don't think you want and I don't think I want, sitting and watching you, or what's called a frequency tally sheet. Seen one of those before?
No, this I haven't seen before.
Okay. So obviously you're not digging many trees, which is an example in this case, but it could be looking at a task that you do. I'm thinking of a new higher orientation, let's say. If you would think how long that takes, and then to split the various components down into those parts.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So if I look at a frequency tally sheet, a KSAO form, a variation on the frequency tally sheet is this form for recording work activities. Now it doesn't have a sort of check if done, but it serves the same purpose. What tools do you use? How long does it take? What was the activity? And what was it involving? So all I'm proposing, very simple, is a Word document. If I was to get this to you by the end of this week, bear in mind it's Thanksgiving weekend, when do you think you could get that back to me?
How many tasks did you want?
2. 2 tasks and 2 KSAOs, task statements.
I could get this done if you draft them for me by Wednesday next week.
Okay, so I'll let you have them by latest Friday.
Yeah.
And so that's only 2 days of work in
That's
that.
fine.
Is that okay? So close the play Wednesday, you could get that back to me.
Business Wednesday the 15th. Yeah, make that.
Because to all intents and purposes, this sort of bit on here is covered by the KSAO form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's look at these now. Have you got still there?
Yes.
Physical abilities.
Which one are we looking at?
We're going on knowledge, skills, and abilities required. Next one after that, bold physical abilities.
Okay. Yeah.
What throwing, pushing, carrying, kneeling? I guess it's a lot of sitting at a desk in your case.
Mostly sitting. Do carrying for the career fairs. And,
Yeah.
Carrying and reaching.
Standing sometimes.
A lot of standing.
Yeah.
Maybe for 95% of
Yeah.
the career fair.
Okay.
A lot of standing.
But the rest of it isn't. It's
No,
obviously that
no.
appropriate. It's an office, vibration, adequate ventilation. You work in fancy Dan offices.
That's right.
Toronto's
Yeah.
glamorous Yorkville
That's
area.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So none of that rubbish.
Nope.
Let's look at these typical working incidents, which are a bit more relevant.
Describe the frequency. What type of, how would you want me to rate the frequency?
Every day, every week, every year, never.
The first one is every day.
Okay.
Influence people in their opinions, add judgments about things or ideas.
You don't have to fold your arms in a sort of defensive position.
Sorry.
All right.
Well, influence people in their opinions, attitudes, judgments, about ideas or things. I don't think I influence people. However, I may add to their opinions. So let's put that as a weekly.
Okay.
Work with people beyond giving and receiving instructions. Could you go into a little bit more depth about that?
Yeah, that's a sort of very matter-of-fact, black and white. This is what you need to do. Go ahead and do it. That's what you've done. Thanks for that. Obviously, with the job you're in, it's much more interpersonal than that. It's not really going to be a case of you're giving somebody a task to do and that's it. Similarly, it's rare you're going to be given a task to